Hello everyone. Today we're going to be going over some deck lists from Unleashed in China. So Unleashed I think has been out in China for about 2 weeks now, maybe a little bit longer, 2.5 weeks. So we can start getting some more results and seeing kind of what's doing well over in China. So first we're going to take a look at this Shanghai City Challenge. It had, I believe, 128 players, yeah. And this one caught my attention because we have in top 12, 1, 2, 3, 4 Lilia players. So taking up a pretty good chunk of top 12. So as a Lilia enjoyer, I kind of wanted to check this out and give my thoughts and opinions on what they're running over in China. So we'll check out first place. Lilia by Yon Kim. So they are running blue Lilia. As expected, it's definitely better than green. For battlefields, it looks like they're on Black Flame Altar. Is there a way for me to look? It won't. Where's the battlefields? Here they are. Black Flame Altar, Forbidden Waste. The unit defending here alone has -2. I think that's pretty interesting. I assume maybe it just makes stuff to smaller so your sprites can swing at them a little bit easier. Because we really don't care if our sprites get the -2, because they're going to die anyways. I kind of like this. I haven't tried this one yet. Then Seed of Power. I think this is also a cool one. This also makes sense. You're able to double conquer pretty easy, so it just gets you more card draw. Then they're on 11 units, so 3 Plundering Poro. Yeah, I think this card's solid, you know, for a 2-drop. Sometimes you need the power. Giving you the gold whenever he conquers. 3 Ravenbloom Student. I'm on this as well. I think this is also just a strong card. 2 Sprite Queen, though, is interesting. I'm not 100% sold on this card, but, you know, I'm not going to argue with the results. Obviously, this guy's doing pretty well. Yeah, I'll have to maybe give this another try. And then 3000 Tailed Watcher, yeah, because this card is just super solid in blue. I think every blue deck should probably be running this card. Then for gear, 3 Sprite Fountain, makes sense. This card is insane. Just giving you free sprite generation. Well, I shouldn't say free, but it basically feels free. And then 1 Heart of Dark Ice, yeah, this makes sense. I've been seeing more lists running this. You could argue maybe running more of this, but I think with the 1, I kind of like that. If you see it, cool. If you don't, then this isn't your whole game plan. You don't need to see it. On 24 spells, so they're on Charm. Just the 1. I think that's fine. I personally like 2, but 1 makes sense. 3 Defy. 2 Retreat. This is kind of what I was talking about. I could see Retreat being played to save your crucial units. So you could do it on your Ravenbloom, your Thousand Tailed Watcher. In my build, the Zillion, but in this build, maybe the Sprite Queen. 3 Stupefy, makes sense. 3 Discipline. I feel like these cards are just super strong. You need to run them. 2 of the Lullaby. Yeah, I don't mind this at all. I'm running 3 of it currently, but I always argue that maybe 2 and 2 or 3 and 2, that could be correct. I like that. Another spicy card, Smoke and Mirrors. I wasn't the biggest fan of this card either, but maybe I just didn't try it enough. Yeah, they're on 3 of it, so obviously they like this card a lot. It must come up. Another card I'll have to give another try. 1 Back Off. I think this is interesting because we're not defending too much. Obviously in my build we kind of are with Zillion and Trevor. But I could see Back Off being... Obviously it's a good card. Just costs 3, stun a unit, and then it replaces itself by drawing 1. Or you can hide it and just get a stun. I like this. You know, it's a solid 1 of. 3 Sprite Burst. Yep, this card is super strong. And then the 3 Unchecked Power. Just crazy. That we have to main deck this card in set 3 just because Vex exists. Yeah, no, it makes sense. I'm main decking 2 of this right now. And, you know, it's a good card. It's not good into every matchup, but we have to run it specifically because most purple decks are going to be running the new Stun Vex. They're on 6 and 6 runes. And then their sideboard, they have 2 Turn to Dust, 2 Rocket Barrage, 2 Falling Comet, 2 Vile Maw. Yeah, I like this. This is like I said, they're kind of playing a more, I guess it's kind of aggro, it's more mid-rangey because they've got the aggressive units. They're running Heart of Dark Ice. They are definitely trying to rush in and steal points, but then they run stuff like the Unchecked Power, the Thousand-Tailed Watcher, the Sprite Queen. So, kind of what I was anticipating for Lilia. I don't think just straight aggro is correct. I think mid-range Lilia is going to be more popular and just overall a better deck. Yeah, I like this list. He's got some differences from mine. Obviously, I'm on the Zillion. I'm not running Smoke and Mirrors, but a lot of similarities, which is cool to see. So also in second, we had a Diana, which is pretty cool. I think this card, or not this card, I think this deck, some people are saying this deck is like super bad, which doesn't make sense to me. It's blue-purple, which are just super strong color combination. We saw it with Ezreal, and then we even saw it with Teemo in set 1. Teemo was never really meta, but he was always still a strong deck. And same with Ezreal. Draven in third place, which makes sense. He's still a good deck. Then in fourth and fifth, we have 2 more Lilias. So let's check out the fourth place list. So they are on Blue Lilia again, 3 Plundering, 3 Ravenbloom, 2 Sprite Queen, 3 Thousand-Tailed. So the same unit lineup as first place. Maybe they were teammates or shared a list, I'm not sure. 3 Sprite Fountain, and then 3 Heart of Dark Ice. So they're running more of it. Again, I think this card is solid. I don't know if I'd personally run 3 of it. I think 1 or 2 might be fine. Then for spells, 2 Charm, 2 Defy, 2 On Guard, 3 Stupefy, 3 Discipline. All very standard. 2 Lullaby, yeah, so this is probably the ratio I'd run is 2 and 2. I like that. And then again, 3 Smoke and Mirrors, so maybe I've just been sleeping on this card. And then 3 Spite Bursts, 2 Unchecked Power. Okay. Pretty similar to the first place list. Slight differences in the spell lineup. They're running the same exact units. A few more Heart of Dark Ice. They're on Black Flame Altar. Yeah, I think this is Lilia's best battlefield. You have to be running this. Due to power, makes sense. And they're on Arena's Greatest, so they are definitely trying to be aggressive. They're trying to get to those 8 points. I'm not the biggest fan of this battlefield, purely because sometimes when you go up against the other aggressive decks, you're giving them a 0.2 and you just lose faster because of it. Obviously, you want to try to outpace your opponent, but I'm not a fan of battlefields that benefit your opponent as well. 6 and 6 runes, sideboard, a Bell's Breath, 2 Retreat, a 3rd Lullaby, Turn to Dust, 2 Irelias, which I think this is interesting. Like, sure, you are running the Heart of Dark Ice, you're running On Guard, Discipline. You have a fair amount of options to choose your Irelia to get her pretty big. Yeah, I don't necessarily mind this. You don't really have... I'm looking at their list right now. I don't think you have a way to ready this the turn it's played. I could be missing it. So this is just the turn you play. It's just going to sit in base or at a battlefield and just be a 4-might unit. So kind of slow. But again, this is kind of taking their Zillion spot where I'd be running it. It's a 5-drop. Yeah, I think it's interesting. I haven't tried it, but I think it's worth consideration. And then 1 Time Warp. Interesting. It's a cool list. It's got some tech that I haven't considered, like the Irelia. Alright, now we've got the 5th place list. I'm not going to try to pronounce their names. Yeah, same thing. They've got Blue Lilia, 2 Plundering, 3 Raven Bloom, 3 Chakram Dancer. I've not seen anyone run this card yet. So it's a 3 for 3, it has Ambush. When you play me, give your other units here shield this turn. I think it's a cool card. I don't think it's bad by any means. Hey, and there's my boy, Trevor Snoozebottom. I think this card is crazy. I love this card. I'm definitely going to be running at least 2 or 3 of this in my list. And then they've got a Blitzcrank, which is cool, and then 1 Sprite Queen. So no Thousand-Tailed Watcher in the main deck. Very interesting. But again, it looks like they're going for the more mid-range build. With the Chakram Dancers, the Blitzcrank, the Trevor. 3 Sprite Fountain. They're on 3 Charm, 3 Defy, 3 On Guard, 3 Stupefied, 3 Discipline. Again, I think you'll see these cards in every single blue-green deck. They're just so good. Obviously, ratios are a bit different. They're on 3 of the Counterspell for Lilia, so they're running 6. I think that's quite a bit. That is a lot of Counterspells, running 6 of them. I feel like running a lot of Counterspells like it's a double-edged sword, because sometimes in certain matchups, like, Counterspells do nothing. But then in some matchups, yeah, if you're facing like a Kaisa, you know, you want to see more of them, so... Yeah, I'm not a big fan of 6, but I think 4 to 5 is a sweet spot. Then you can side other copies. Then they're on 2 Smoke and Mirrors, 2 Crescent Strike, and 3 Sprite Burst. Okay. Crescent Strike is new. I imagine it's for getting rid of Vex and the pesky 4-mite units. They're not main decking the unchecked powers. Then for battlefields, they're on Black Flame Altar, Dusk Rose, and Arena's Greatest. Okay, so 2 battlefields I'm currently running. I like both of these a lot. 6 and 6 runes. And then for sideboard, they're on 3 Lonely Poro, 2 Mask, and 3 Turn to Dust. Interesting. Again, I'm not the biggest fan of Mask of Foresight, but, you know, sometimes it just comes down to preference too. And then we'll take a look at this last Lilia list in 9th place. They're on the Blue Lilia. They're on Keeper of the Masks. I think this is a cool card. It's one I haven't tried yet, but have been meaning to. I think there's a world where you're defending and you hide this, and you're defending for, what is it? So you get 2 reflections of this. So if you're doing this at Black Flame, you're defending for the 1 from Keeper. You're getting 2 temporaries from this. That'll defend for 2 each. So if you hide it, defends for 5, which I think is pretty cool. Or you can play it on your turn and make your Lilia Legend cheaper. 3 Scuttle Crab. I'm running 3 of this. I like this card a lot. They're running an additional copy of the Blue Lilia. They're also running 1 LeBlanc, 1 Irelia, and 3 Thousand-Tailed Watcher. This is kind of a spicy unit lineup. Only 10 units. Yeah, this is interesting. I'm not the biggest fan of LeBlanc either. I don't think it's a bad card, per se. But I don't think we mind that our sprites are dying. And then again, the 1 Irelia that we saw on the other list too. I think this is a cool card and can be explored. They're on 2 Mask of Foresight, 3 Sprite Fountain. Again, Sprite Fountain, I think you'll see 3 of in every single Lilia deck. This card is so good. 2 Mask. As for spells, they're on 3 Charm, 2 Defy, 3 On Guard, 2 Stupefy, which is interesting. 3 Discipline, 1 Lullaby, 3 Smoke and Mirrors, 2 Consult the Past, 3 Sprite Burst, 2 Unchecked Power. The only difference here really is their Consult the Past, which is interesting. They really want the card draw. Maybe that's why they cut Stupefy down from 3 to 2. Because they're running 2 of this. Yeah, I don't hate it. Then again, for battlefields, we're on Black Flame Altar, Dusk Rose Lab, and Candlelit Sanctum. Interesting. Again, I like these 2 a lot. And there's that third spot, I think, is kind of the flex. It's going to come down to preference or what the meta ends up being. 6 and 6 runes, then Turn to Dust, 2 Crescent Strike, 2 Disarming Rake, a Deadly Flourish, Singularity, and a 3rd Unchecked Power. So a pretty wide sideboard, lots of options. I kind of like it when sideboards are like this. Kind of gives you more versatility. But overall, this is a pretty interesting list. Running an additional Lilia, the LeBlanc, and Aurelia. And a Keepers, which the other 3 lists weren't running. Yeah, I think this is cool. I'm happy to see that Lilia is popping off in China right now. So those were the top 4 performing Lilias. I want to scroll down and see if we find any others decently high up. Okay, we got Hero 1 in 23rd. And again, out of like 128 players, like, that's not bad that you're still performing. Let's see, so they're same thing, Blue Lilia, 3 Plundering, 3 Raven Bloom, 2 Sprite Queen, 3 Thousand-Tailed Watcher, same lineup. 3 Sprite Fountain, 2 Heart of Dark Ice, Arm Defy, Retreat, Stupefy, Discipline, Lullaby, Smoke and Mirrors, Sprite Burst, Unchecked Power. And they're more or less kind of on what those other lists were running. Seems they've kind of found their formula that they like in China. Citing another Lullaby, Turn to Dust, Falling Comet, and Vile Maw. Yeah. They're on 5 and 7 though. Interesting. I guess for the unchecked powers, because you really don't cycle too much. I mean, I guess, yeah, because they're on the Sprite Queens and Thousand-Tailed too. Yeah, I guess it makes sense why they'd run one more blue rune. But overall, looks like Lilia is performing pretty well in China right now, at least at this event, which, you know, 128 players isn't small. It's a pretty decent sized event. So congrats to Yon Kim, this person here, getting first place, which is super cool. And also it's kind of cool to see that, you know, kind of what I've been theory crafting isn't too far off to what people are seeing success with. Obviously, I'm still the only guy that's trying to make Zillion work, but I still think he's a pretty solid card. Yeah, this is a cool list, and it's something I'll have to try out. There's some stuff that maybe I passed on too quick, like Sprite Queen and Smoke and Mirrors as examples. Heart of Dark Ice, I think, is also a cool card that I'll probably end up trying out. So sometime this week, you know, maybe we'll try out this person's list and see how it functions. See what we like and see what we don't. Very cool. Oh, and also I think Forbidden Waste is also a pretty cool tech that I never considered. Overall, I'm happy to see that Lilia is performing, you know. I think initially people were kind of sleeping on her, and I definitely still don't think she's gonna be S tier. I don't think she's gonna be broken like Draven. But I think she's definitely gonna be a solid tier 1.5, tier 2 deck that, you know, will stick around in the meta to come.